Oh, holy shit! I am so tired. But, and I'm sorry, things are a bit of a mess back there. But also, uh, actually didn't get a video posted. Well, I guess now technically yesterday. I mean, I'm kind of counting today as part of the same day. As I've done multiple videos at the same time. I think I'm well over 200 videos right now, so it's not like I'm just doing one a day or anything. But no one's perfect. So I figured instead of doing a short or whatever, I do another one of these live streams. Um, so it could be a little bit longer. I try to work on the pizza stuff a little bit. And just kind of do a little recap of what the first 6 months of the year has been like so far, doing these videos and stuff. Um, Eat some candy, drink a San Pellegrino. Um, I guess take a look at what some of the things that coming up are, and kind of try to game plan how to get there a little bit. Plus, I got my laundry in, so I need something to do for at least a half an hour or so. Let's see. Well, I guess we can start with a recap of New Year's when I quit my really shitty job at a place called Boring Place in Manhattan near Washington Square. Probably one of the most toxic work environments I've been in. That place really sucked. Um, Not because a lot of the people. I feel like the people were pretty fine. Um, their head chef is one of those like blowhards that there are just some chefs in restaurants that you can tell that they'd never make it in the military at all. Like I didn't go in the military, but like they definitely wouldn't have made it in the military. But they still want that like prestige, So you get a lot of the yes chef, no chef, and like a lot of that bullshit where you're like, dude, like you run a restaurant that profits by paying most of its workers minimum wage. Why are you expecting them to be like Michelin star level chefs? Most of them didn't even go to culinary school. Um, but when you have name recognition, you can kind of filter out for people that are just kind of simps. And there definitely were people that worked there that just kind of like bought that hook, line, and sinker. Just like, well, you just gotta let them bend you over and take it. Otherwise, nothing good will happen for you later on in life. That's part of just being a team player. It's like, it's really not. It's really not. But, so anyways, venting a little bit about more in place. Yeah. So I think definitely good to get out of there. Plus, it was one of the low so long. Jeez. Anyways. Let's after that fell through. Then I tried. I think it must have been Limelight. Was that the one, the Grimaldi's? Um, which seemed like it was going to be promising. That guy was like, "Oh, you know what you're doing. I love this guy. You're awesome." Just like the most like goddamn like Sopranos level Italian stereotype of a person. Just you're like, do you just not have a personality of your own? Like, what did you just watch mob movies and think that's what being Italian was? So you just went really just straight into that? What the fuck's going on with you? I don't know. Plus, what a disgusting place in Manhattan. It's like an old church. It's like a nightclub. It's also a restaurant. And I would see rats run into customers' legs and like feet. It was disgusting. And then honestly, just a bunch of drunks making pizza. But they've been there for so long, and the guy that owns the place and kind of runs it is so spineless that they just walk all over him. So sucks to suck, I guess. But yeah, I remember I walked into there after he was like, "Oh, you can be the manager." Like, like oh, okay. And I think I walked in and there were just three waiters that had already been there for like an hour or two doing trails, but no one had said anything to me. And people are asking me what to do, and I'm just, I don't fucking know. You got to give me some level of understanding of what you want and what's going on. Just have some respect for me as a person, I guess, in that regards. But yeah, so walked on that. God, let's see. Where did we go after that? Well, that would have been early February, so I guess that's when I landed at Bar Burba. Um, Again, the guy has one place that I think has a Michelin star, but I've been inside of it and it's disgusting. Like, just infested with roaches and shit. And then he bought the pizzeria across the street that was going out of business. Didn't really do any upgrades or anything else like that. Like, it seems like he's smart enough to figure out how to like game the system and get grants and loans and small business loans and stuff like that. So it's like, all right, well, just give me all that money, you know. Um, and to that end, continue operating with one of the most dangerous ovens I've ever worked with, which was when that thing blew up in my face and I was all burned in the face there for a little bit. So that sucked. And then they were being weird right after that, so at least I was smart enough to find another job, so that when the the doctor's required time off of work was over and I would have to go back to work and I knew they were just going to fire me, I think that was my first day at the place out in the Rockaways. And let's see, went through Crustinos. God, what a fucking joke. Um, Worked there for a week without even knowing what the guy was going to pay. When I first talked to him, I actually had gone out there before going to Bar Burba, and he offered me 70K salary to be his general manager or whatever. And then I went out there and I was talking to him, and I was like, I think he just needed a pizza maker. I told him all the things I was qualified for. He already knew. He said, well, I don't need all of those other things. I just need a pizza maker. I was like, all right, well, I think I said it took 30 an hour. But then I was also like very flexible. And I, you know, you know, if there were tips, anything else like that, I just needed a job. And I also get so tired of that. It's like, dude, you're the owner. You own the place. It's your business. Have some fucking balls and say, this is what I can offer. Like, quit being such a spineless, bitch-made, pathetic person that you can't just be like, all right, well, here's what I can offer. Jesus. Also, why I just never care for that. Like, well, the business owner takes all the risk. It's like they're the biggest fucking bitches and pussies in the whole thing. They will take as little risk as possible. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. God, that's such propaganda bullshit brainwashing. Came in the next day after that to him being like, all right, well, I don't think I can pay you enough. I don't even want to try to negotiate. Here's the pay for last week, which he paid me, I think, like, I don't know. He just gave me $1,000. Maybe it was a little bit more. I can't remember because I think I worked one day the next day. So it wasn't terrible, but it also was like, fuck this. It gets, oh my God, what a commute. I was like sitting on a train for an hour and 45 minutes. Again, it's not like I was like, oh man, I love this. This is amazing. I can't wait to keep doing this. But I was always going to be like, all right, this is what I got to do. This is what I got to do. I went in and did a good job. Let's see. After that, scramble to find something. Where did I end up after that? I guess that's when I ended up at the place in Midtown. The Pizza Suprema. That place is like a staple. It's been there since like 1966. And, again, did a really good job. I actually just texted the GM tonight because the place that I'm helping open is around the corner. It's right near Madison Square Gardens, which it is in that it was next to Madison Square Gardens. So we're still friends. She's like, I'll give you a good reference for things. But it was again a very, I think that a lot of times when I show up to these places, I mean, I've been doing this like 20 years, and I'm a very good pizza maker. I would like to say that I'm proud of that, but it's making pizza. It's not necessarily like sought after skill. It's not like hey, everybody be super impressed with this. But I still am good at it, and it is a job that pays and can pay well. And I spend a lot of time in places, and I just try to do a good job because I want to try to do a good job. And a lot of people take that as almost like a threat, like, oh, this guy's here to take my job or make us look bad or make us try harder or whatever. I don't fucking know. But sucks. And, I don't know what the deal was with one pizza maker there that I started off with. I think he's like Indian or I don't know what his deal was, but he really just seemed to not like me. It seemed like if I made a mistake in the first couple of days while I was trying to learn how to, like, what toppings went on everything, there's like 20 different pizza toppings they have there. He almost treated me like as if I did it on purpose. There was just no charitability of like, oh, well, like, you're new, you're trying to figure this out, you're clearly trying to do a good job. If I tried asking him for help or, advice or what goes on something or whatever, he would just be like, you should know this, instead of trying to help me learn any of it. Again, I'm talking like the first and second days here. Like, not weeks into this when I should have known, but like when I'm trying to learn. Turn that on. Yeah. So, and then I put up with that for like probably a good 2 or 3 weeks before I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to shut down then here. Like, I'll still come in and do a good job and make good pizza, friendly to everyone that I can be friendly to. But honestly, I'm not going to go out of my way to be, I guess jovial or, I'm not somebody, I'm not a very two-faced person. I don't pretend very well. So if I'm dealing with somebody that I'm like, all right, you clearly just don't like me and don't even want to work with me or deal with me or whatever, I'm not going to sit there and pretend like that's not like an issue or like kind of shitty to deal with. But I'm not going to just fight someone at work. So that just is like, all right, well, I'm just going to shut up and come over here and just not deal with you, not talk to you, and not interact with you. And the other pizza maker apparently took offense to this. I don't even know what his deal was, but he took this as an opportunity to just be an enormous asshole. So now I had two people just being assholes, and it sucks because I normally have the asshole test, which is because you start like, I mean, obviously this whole part of this video, so you start being like, wow, dude, it sounds like you've got a lot of issues with like everyone. That's the thing. It's like there's a good 10, 15 people that work at this place. I don't have a problem with most of them. Most of them actually really like me, up into including the owner and the general manager. It really seemed to be these two, but these are two of the guys that I got to interact with the most. So, yeah, I definitely ended up just losing my cool and telling them to fuck off one morning. And that was kind of bad. And God, whatever the place was, I don't know. Fine, except for one. It's one of those places that's owned by somebody who I feel like just lucked into having the ownership. It's not something that they really worked for. They just had the opportunities because some people just get all the opportunities. And, you know, from what I understand from their staff, she's never there except for around the time of the inspection, the health code inspection. And it's just to come in and essentially harass everyone, even though nothing that she says is beneficial. It's not even making sense. It's just her freaking out. She's worried that she's not going to get an A, and she's letting that insecurity and anxiety like melt over and pour onto everybody else. And again, we deal with that. Um, but I think I was making something like a pizza or something that was going in the oven, and I wasn't wearing the gloves because most of the time you don't wear the gloves when you're making the pizza. Actually, I tend to wear the gloves a little bit more often than not. I'll wash my hands a lot, but a lot of times if there's something that um, is, I don't want to say like slimy, but it's like wet and sticky, some of the cheeses, some of the vegetables, maybe like raw meat or anything else like that. Um, I could wash my hands after it. I would, do when I don't have the gloves. But if I can just throw a pair of gloves on and save myself a couple of minutes washing my hands so they're clean again and letting them dry between doing stuff, I'll just wear the gloves. Um, Now, if I'm not doing one of those things, and the thing that I'm working on is going back inside of a 5 to 6 to 7 to 1,000 degree oven for minutes on whatever little bits of bacteria would be getting on anything that are going to be incinerated in the oven. That's the whole point of cooking things. Um, I think that you're a little silly if you think that your food is touched by people in latex gloves from the moment that it is dug out of the grounds or slaughtered until the moment you put it in your mouth. That's just not realistic. Like people's hands will touch it at some point. Um, in fact, and prepares it and puts it in an oven. Um, and I also kind of ran into a feeling that I had at a lot of places that I don't want to make this into like a big deal, but I will say that there's definitely a feeling that I've gotten working baking pizza that in some places where they're run by an Italian family, be good enough. It's not really a matter of how good the pizza is. Like it's not a skill thing. It's just like I can't be more Italian. I'm not Italian. So if that's what makes a good pizza maker to you is somebody just being Italian, then or if that's a part of it, then like yeah, I can't. I guess I just will always lose that. But and we just hired another Italian guy, and she definitely seemed much closer to him and seemed to just want to kind of give him control or whatever. I have a feeling that she wishes that she'd hired him first before I showed up. I had showed up first, so she hired me, and now she didn't want to just get rid of me for no reason. Um, but it's not like that sentiment wasn't known or felt. Um, and so when this thing happened with the gloves or whatever, I was just like, if you're not happy with the job that I'm doing here, if you don't trust me, if you don't think that I know what I'm doing, because I think that's something that she essentially said, it's just like doesn't look like you know what you're doing. Um, I was like, I would go find something else. I certainly don't ever want to take a paycheck from somebody that doesn't think that I'm earning the money that they're paying me. If you don't think I'm good at my job, then don't pay me for it. Now, I'm helping open Roberta's in Madison Square Gardens tomorrow. All of the pizza makers there have been doing this well over a decade, twice as long as this woman has owned her restaurant. Um, and they are all extremely impressed with me and think I'm the best pizza maker they've ever seen. So, whose opinion do you think I'm going to value more? the absentee restaurateur that like shows up a month out of the year to like badger everyone when she's the thinks that there might be some actual repercussions on her, or the people that have actually been doing this for a living and studying and like going to the expos and all of that. I don't think that's like a hard call. One second. What's going on? One second. Internet. Does anyone use Threads? Because like I don't ever use Threads. And this one time I'm using Threads and I'm getting into like some big water or comment reply guy. Fucking. Oh my god. I'm excited. A whole different one. Whatever. Um, so yeah. But anyways, like again, I've been looking for a better job. Again, it wasn't a very well paying job, and I was trying to do a good job. I gave her a bunch of specials and focaccia bread and whatever else. Um, but yeah. So then let's see. After that, I was working at. Well, I pretty much took this job I started talking 2 weeks ago. It's been a little bit of work. I worked at one of the original locations, or at the original location, a little bit this week, and did some events like a party that was at the new location and stuff. Um, but I was also working for, again, just a dipshit that was trying to do I don't know, was trying to do pop up events and stuff like that, but he's just not very organized. He doesn't communicate a lot of stuff very well. Um, and then he seems to get angry when like people don't read his mind. So again, happy to not be doing that anymore. But yeah, that at least brings us up to speed with the job stuff because now, as well, now going forward, working at the new Roberta's location at Madison Square Gardens. Hopefully, this thing lasts a little bit longer than a month, although that does seem to be my track record this year for some reason. I don't know why that's the case, but we'll see. Um, Everyone seems to be pretty happy with me, and I seem to be doing a good job. So that's a plus. Good sign. Um, Still working as a consultant for the guys in England. It seems as if maybe next month, maybe sometime this month, I'm not really sure. I might be able to get a little trip over there. But I'm guessing it's probably going to be in August. So that's good. Always nice to have a little bit of extra cash from that. Um, let's see. And yeah, I think I really want to try working on getting my own place open. Definitely, I think it was after the fireball to the face. I really spent a lot of time on the computer writing a business plan and things that I would need and different types of references that I can do. I think I need to get that final investors deck, but at this point, especially after talking with enough people, oh, I see where it is. Optical illusion back. Um, I think I could potentially have some good bartenders, sommeliers. You can do um, wine. I mean, well, sommelier. Well, sommelier is not really just wine; it's all the drinks, but normally just considered for the wine. Um, Obviously, with pizzas and things like that, it seems like I've got a few different people that are willing to invest, which is nice. So, um, also having the company in England that I'm doing consulting for has helped me kind of push through. Like it's not just a thing that I'm working on for myself, but as I'm helping them open their place, it's giving me a game plan to open my own. Also, if I'm lucky and this thing opens well and they see me as a part of that, it might be a little bit easier to get them to maybe invest in a place for me as well. One second, let me look at the cat. Oh my god. That's all well and good. Let's see. I gotta stop getting my knee on the desk so I shake the whole camera and everything. Um, let's see. Skateboarding, doing very good. Definitely seen some improvements for the last couple of years. Need to go faster, but got most of at least the basic tricks. Your 180s and kick flips and pop shuttles, front side and back side stuff. Um, Regular switch, not like fakie, all pretty comfortable. Maybe not like fakie heel flips, but for the most part, I have them all down. I can land them all if I really need to. Got most of the grinds. I started learning blunt slides, which is nice. Never been able to do those before. It's a nice thing when you get older. Like I just turned 38, beginning of June, so over a month ago. Um, and I mean, a lot of the skateboarding, you learn the stuff when you're younger. But I never had solid one slide just on a ledge for the most. Yeah, I think that I knew I could nose blunt. I could even like come from the side and get into a front side nose blunt on something. But I could never just get a regular blunt front side or back side on a block, only on a rail. And even though I've only had them on curves and stuff like that, just getting to experience, you know, tail slides, nose slides, sliding forward and backwards on them, and grinds and stuff like that. There's not many things that it was definitely cool to have that, to like do something that I've never gotten bored to slide in this way. I've never had this feeling for it. So that was cool. Would really like to get the Casper slides. Um, Again, that's another one that I've never landed. What I always really liked, was always fascinated with, I like Rodney Ones. The one that he does down the picnic table, I think it's like a 3 or 4 stair in the round one video. But that's pretty good. And I'm jumping a little bit higher. I think with this current job, it's going to be difficult. It seems like every time I'm really close to getting to the next thing on my skateboard, and I'm like, I just need to work on this a little bit. Something happens. Either I hurt myself in some way, like I get my shin really hard, or kind of like tweak an ankle, or the weather gets really shitty, I'm just working a ton. Like this week is going to be pretty rough. This was a 10-hour day today, and I'm pretty sure they're just going to be 10-hour days after this. I think I'm working like 55 hours this week, which is not terrible. I mean, when I was working earlier this year, I was doing 55 hours, so that's good. But it's hard to get the skateboarding in with the way this company works. So I don't think I'm going to be doing 50 hours for months on end. Hopefully, I can get it for like 2 weeks, maybe 3. To kind of get my money built up a little bit here, and then back to 40 hours, and it looks like I'm going to have the opening shift, so it's just going to be a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, as beautiful as all hell. It'll definitely be nice. I do think I need to start using some of my skateboard stuff that I've bought. I have so many pairs of shoes, and so many board decks, because growing up, I mean, we didn't necessarily grow up poor, but it wasn't like you could just go get a new pair of skateboard shoes, or skateboard as fast as I was going through them, which, with how much I skated as a teenager, was a pair of shoes and a skateboard probably every month, at least. And, that comes up to about $100 every month for shoes and a board, without adding in wheels and bearings, grip tape, and whatever else comes along with it. You're looking at a little over $1,000 for skateboarding a year. Still not the most expensive thing or sport the kids play, but not cheap. Let's see. So when I hit a point where I kind of stocked up on shoes and skateboards, because for a long time, like, we didn't actually spend $1,000 on my skateboards a year. Are you kidding me? It just meant that I wore a pair of shoes that were kind of done after a month, or 3 months, or 4 months, and like I still try to wear my shoes and use my skateboards as long as I possibly can. I mean, for crying out loud, like these guys, they're toast. These are completely flat on the bottom. I actually can't even skate in these anymore. I just keep them as slip-ons. And the same thing with the boards. I mean, even now, with how much I skateboard, I probably go through a board. It's probably like used up after. Still ride them. I mean, I think there was one that I had on there for about a year. I do have a couple of other boards that I cycle through, so it's not as bad, but Sorry. About skateboarding. Yeah, but well, there. Oh my god! I just got to turn this off. Just getting so distracted. Let's see what we have other things going on besides the skateboarding. We have the animations, which I need to get back into, but really started getting a lot better at Blender, and I'm not good at it. I got better at it was, which was terrible. So now I'm like, I think kind of mediocre. But was able to figure out how to do the 2D animations there, got some 3D modeling done, figured out how to do the armatures. Definitely want to get back into it, and obviously I have been a little preoccupied with a plethora of other stuff, but I think probably definitely when it gets cold out again and can't be skating as much, it'll be nice to have something like, shitty weather outside. But let's see. Also figuring out how to do the modeling to use it for the restaurants. Like modeling out the ovens and the refrigerators and tables and chairs and counters and dishwashers and sinks and the whole 9 yards, anything that would be in a restaurant, to the point where I can do it with all of this stuff. Definitely need to kind of fine tune some of those things to make sure that they work a little bit better together properly, and need to finish coloring them a little bit. But for the most part, looking pretty good on that. Yeah, it would be nice to get back into that though. Probably do a little bit of animation, and we got better at Blender. What else did we get done this year? Oh, we made a skateboard press and pressed 2 skateboards. In fact, we have the 2. Got to make this one and wrote it for the first and only time on my birthday, and broke it. But that's all. Was to be expected. This is the second one. It came out pretty good. You can still see the nose is a little too flat. I hate trying to do this. Everything is like backwards and mirrored. So it definitely needs more concave on the nose, but still not bad. It also shipped pretty bad. I think when I was doing the routing, this wood is just not the way to go. It was nice to start learning how to do the routing though, because that has led to different projects, including getting the guitars almost done with. I got 2, and again, I'm working pretty much, I think, either 9 to 9 or 10 to 9 or 6 or something. I don't think that I'm going to be able to work on the guitars for at least 2 or 3 days here. Probably not. It looks like it's Saturday and Sunday we're closed, so I think I can have both those days off. And if that's the case, I should be able to finish both the guitars. I'll be able to get a battery for the drill so that I can have one that's better for drilling holes and everything with the correct speeds. I can, and then all I gotta do is drill the neck and bolt the necks on, and make sure that they have the right action so that you don't get any fret buzz or anything. Might have to shim them a little bit, but that should be pretty easy to do. I also think that I have it figured out to the point where I can make these a lot faster, um, and just looking a little bit better. The first one is coming out really nice. And it's been nice to kind of figure out how to fix things after I fucked up a little bit. Like down here where the tuning pegs are going to be. I just didn't like how it looked. It looked so janky. So I was able to go. I went back in, evened up all of these with the router. Left this so it's got the support still, but you're not going to see that. Once the thing that the actual tuners fit into is on there. And was able to use one sheet of the veneer, some of the scrap that I had left over, to build this pocket out a little bit better so it looks nice. It doesn't, again, look like this weird nose thing that's going on between these two. I am going to reroute and cut one of these. It's just the back part of the bridge so that the 2 bolts go in, or pegs or whatever that go in here for the bridge, have something to rest in. I figured I had to do the guitars up because my brother got me the router for doing guitars. I want to say like 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago for Christmas, I think. And it was a really great gift. And I have a broken skateboard of his to make a guitar out of, and I told him I would make one for him. So getting me the router was kind of like a way of making that more possible. And I still haven't got around to do it. But since I was doing the routing anyways, I was like, well, I should see how this will work before making one of them. Like, it is why I have it. I should at least see how it would work. And it works really well. I mean, obviously, there's been a lot more to it than using the router. There's not been much routing, in fact, but it has been really, really necessary. Did I have the router? I don't even think I had the router for the last one that I did. I think I did all of the first one from a couple of years ago with the Dremel. Believe it or not. God, what a pain in the ass. Yeah. So I don't even think I've had to use the Dremel on this one. I do want to get the Dremel out. It is nice to start learning some of this stuff that you don't really use. I've definitely used routers before and Dremel before, but no one really showed me how to use one, and I didn't know that for the longest time. At the top of the box was this fucking thing, and I thought it was like a hose or some sort of like vacuum or sawdust or something. I didn't know. I didn't read the owner's manual, and I didn't know what it did, and I hadn't seen anyone else use it, and I didn't realize you could just attach a bit to it and use it, like power it through this thing. So I was like, all right, that's great. This is amazing. I've been having a ton of fun with it. It'll be nice to use on this one to do the mouth, and I think I want to put some gills in there, do a little bit of texture in there. And honestly, maybe I'll do something like behind the fins, just give it a little bit of like texture. I need to organize back here so bad. I also need to look at the laundry. It's probably been done for like maybe like 15 minutes. So yeah, we've gone through all of those jobs, and now we're helping open a new place, a good place, hopefully. I have a good one. I think I have a good job. I'm kind of excited about this. This seems like a really nice fit. So that seems to be clear. We've done some animation. We've done some 3D modeling. I don't know why I keep saying royal we. I have made 2 skateboards. Oh, I cut out a bunch of small cruiser decks, built almost 2 guitars, and I have an acoustic started, a violin, I have the pieces. Oh, and this was nice. Went to grab an Arizona iced tea, and because it's the first and there's people moving and just throwing a bunch of stuff out, there was a bass guitar that I was able to cannibalize the tuning pegs and the bridge off of, and as well as the neck. So I did want to make a bass guitar, and this was kind of just one of those signs from the universe of, well, here's all the parts. So I think all I would need to get would be the like $10 ISO pickup to have that in there, and I'll have a bass guitar. But I think I still want to take. I would really like to get these guitars done on Saturday, and then kind of take a step back from those and focus on some other things. Maybe continue to tinker around with it, but it would be nice to Sunday or Saturday to be able to put them all together, string them, make sure that they play, make sure that the action's correct, attach the pickups, whatever, semi-permanently, like figure out how I'm going to do that. And yeah, I feel like it's a lot to do on Saturday in like one day. So I'm also going to want to skateboard and shit. It's nice, but if I could get the green screen out and take some nice pictures of them with the camera, something that I can edit a little bit and use as like semi-professional photos for the website, so that I can get the website launched. That would be great. That would be great. Oh God, I'm so tired. I do up so early, and I have to get up again so early. I did almost 2. So fucked. I'll be there at 10 tomorrow. Which means I gotta leave here at 9. Which means I gotta be up probably by 8:30. Which means if I want to get 6 hours of sleep, which is normally my cutoff, I need to fall asleep in 30 minutes. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. I do think I'll fall asleep pretty fast tonight, but doesn't look like I'm going to be folding my laundry though. But once I get through this week, it's a lot better. Anyways, it would be nice on Sunday to turn my attention to something else. Finishing the sanding of these skateboards would be one really good one. I could get the paint Although I think I might want to wait a week before I spend the money on that. Kind of colors I need to get. Maybe something, so I spend $20 like that when I need. I'll think about that more this week and finish it off. But yeah, it would be nice to get those spray painted. Potentially finish the playing card box that I have started because it's like halfway done. I think I just need to glue a lot of it together. Actually, I think a lot of it is glued together. Yeah, there's really not much left. Like I really need to just get on gluing it together and sanding down everything so it fits together again. Um, that would be at least, that would give me, by the end of this weekend, the 2 guitars, the playing cards, and close to having this, maybe even having the cruiser deck stuff. It would give me about 6 cruiser decks that I could throw up on the website and try selling. Now, again, I don't think I'm getting all of those done. I think the playing cards I can get done. I think the guitars I can get done. And I think they, by next weekend, they can be all done. I'll just need one day to paint everything. Although, again, I don't know if I can paint everything. I think I need to leave it for a while to dry before it. Well, we'll see. I'll figure that out. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Let's see what else. Yeah, so I got a lot of projects that I want to do. I want to do the skate video. Would really like to record a little bit of music. I might just start doing live streams, just playing the guitar or something. I don't know. Figure that counts as recording music. So much to do. Every time I hear about whatever team is winning some championship, like hockey or baseball or whatever, I'm like, oh my god, I just don't understand how people have time to follow it. Like that must just be what you do when you're not doing all this other shit. But I like it this way. So, alright. Well, I'm exhausted. And I need to go get my laundry. Really good live stream. There's so much of this. Really sending it out, whatever. That is part of getting old. Alright, I will see you guys tomorrow. Maybe I'll just do a short tomorrow. I don't know. I will probably be a little bit lazy with the content for this week because of the work schedule and everything, but it's what it is. Till then,